Welcome to Bowen Field, everyone. Apologize for the technical difficulties, but this is inning number 2 between Bluefield College and UPIKE. Hello, everybody. Bailey Engel, soon to be joined by Jackson Bast here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Sorry, a warm day here in Bluefield. Had some technical difficulties dealing with the overheating of our equipment, but we are happy to have you here as DeMarco Miller leads it off against J.J. Downs here in the top of the second. It's scoreless 0-0 as we get the scoreboard up and ready for you here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Bluefield College's Downs gave up a hit to Helton. He was the leadoff man out to right field, and then Bluefield College's pitcher here in this midweek game was able to retire the next 3 batters. So it will be the 5, 6, 7 all due up for the UPIKE Bears. Big swing and a miss on the 1-2, and Miller is down on strikes. Bluefield College went 1-2-3 in the top of the second. Or excuse me, in the bottom of the first. Here we are in the top of the second. Here is Trey Scott. Swinging a weak ground ball over to third. Ozzie Millette up to throw. And the 5-3 is in the books for out number 2 here in the top of the second inning. So that'll bring up Trey McLemore. Bluefield College in the field. Ozzie Millette over at third. The returner for Bluefield College. Zaps us another returner at short. Ellie Mejia getting the start at second base today. Clay Wisner out of the lineup with a tweaked hamstring. Taylor Moe at first base out in left field. It'll be Jeremy Garcia, who's 0 for 1 today. Nate Cobb also 0 for 1. And David Meach out in right field. By the way, Ozzie Millette 0 for 1 as well. 2 outs. And here's McLemore. First pitch to him is a Elijah Lewis up with a runner at third for Bluefield in this scoreless contest. We are in the bottom of the second inning. Leading off the inning with a hit was Cardona. New runner representing him at third. Taylor Moe moved him over to third on a ground ball over to second, so there's one away. And here's Elijah Lewis with an 0-1 count. Pitch, big swing and a miss, reaching outside on Cernahouse. Cernahouse, the starting pitcher for UPIKE. Albers at third. Kirkman covering the bag at shortstop. Over at second base, it's Maynard. McLemore at first. Miller, Freyas, and Hilton, or Freeze, I should say, and Helton all in right field from left to right. Pitch, swinging a foul ball, rolls over to the third base dugout, and now the count stays at no balls, 2 strikes. So with no balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Apologize for the technical difficulties we've had here, folks. Dealing with a few things that the weather has provided for us, albeit gorgeous weather, but a little hot. No balls, 2 strikes as the shade finally comes out. The pitch, swinging a ground ball, third base side. And we'll do it again in no balls, 2 strikes. Elijah Lewis, how about him in that series against Point? Did such a great job in that doubleheader, especially with that walk-off double. Make it a walk-off single on a 2-run single out to right field. Capped off a big comeback for Bluefield in the bottom of the 9th inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at third awaits. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Wave right through it. And now there's 2 outs. So now David Meach stands in for Bluefield here in the bottom of the second with still no score at 0-0. Bottom of the second, scoreless frame so far with a little bit of wind flying out towards left field. From the belt, here's the pitch. Just a bit high, and it's ball 1. So the count at 1-0. Meach trying to knock home the runner from third after Cardona doubled. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Righty-lefty and the pitch. Fly ball, shot foul, left side now to play on this gorgeous day here in the 2 Virginias. So Rams trying to jump on the board first and deciding, I think for the first time this year, to wear the blue uniforms as opposed to the camouflage ones when I'm calling the games. It's a little bit easier to see the numbers on the back. I got to imagine pretty hot in those dark blue uniforms. 1-1. It's a fastball that misses outside and low for the catcher, Bello. completes the battery with Cerna House.
I think they heard you complain quite a bit on the broadcast.
There's my broadcast partner, Jackson Bast. Yeah, it's just tough to read the numbers. And not to say that they don't look cool. It's just tough to read the numbers. From the belt, the 2-1. Swinging a high fly ball to left field. Staying in the ballpark for Miller. Steps up and makes the catch for out number 3. So the Rams scored no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left at third. We're on to the 3rd inning here in Bluefield, where it's still 0-0 between the Bears and the Rams. Top of the 3rd coming up for the Bears, still scoreless. Bluefield College with Spencer Ambrose now on the mound for BC. Left-handed pitcher up against the right-handed batter in Albers. Third baseman in the 8-9-1 due up in this scoreless contest. Over the top fastball right down the pipe for strike 1. Bluefield College 13-16, losers of 4 in a row. Remember, got swept against St. Andrews in a couple of good baseball games. Mike White was not necessarily disappointed. Here's the 0-1. The sinker just misses outside, had a good break on it, and the count evens up at 1-1. So we play good baseball games. Just weren't able to keep the leads moving into the later innings. And unfortunately, that has been a problem that has plagued Bluefield in the past, not just this year. Fastball is swung on 2 hops. Diving grab Millette up to his feet. Long throw to first. Not in time. Taylor Moe with the outstretch must have kept a foot off, and it's an infield single for Albers. Second hit of the ball game, and the first one off of Ambrose. And there's a runner at first here in the top of the 3rd inning. Looked like Millette didn't necessarily need to dive on that one, just kind of stumbled into it, didn't rush the throw. Got it on target because of that, but just not in time. Now here's Jared Kirkman, the shortstop. UPIKE wearing the orange jerseys. The gray pants make the trip from Pikeville, Kentucky. Pitch shows bunt, lays it down, third base side, fielded in foul territory by Millette. And that is strike 1. Kirkman, the junior from Memphis, Tennessee, and also went to Southwest Tennessee Community College. Well, it's interesting to see a lot of these guys jump around from, not necessarily jump around, but make the jump from JUCO to NAIA. And in junior college ball, there's a lot of great competition before you move to play varsity at somewhere else. Sean Bund again is going to try it. Kirkman sawed it off inside. And they call that a ball. He pulled back, almost hit him. Count goes to 1-1 with a runner at first and no outs. Jackson, have you had to watch Last Chance U on Netflix?
Yeah, you mentioned that, and that's exactly what I was thinking when you mentioned maybe that could be their next series after they do basketball for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, fouled it off. Now, have you seen, now don't spoil it for me if you have.
No.
But you haven't seen the basketball one?
I haven't seen any of them.
Oh my goodness, it's great. I would say this. The first 2 seasons of football were great because it surrounds East Mississippi Community College, and they are really, really talented football players. Now, the next 2 seasons at Independence, the team isn't as good, and they kind of put on a new angle for that at Independence, Kansas. Zambros looks at runner at first in Albers and shakes him off, so Albers goes back to the bag. And then the last season, I couldn't really tell you where. I know that the college was in Oakland, California, but that was not all seasons. You can only focus on really 5 to 6 guys plus the coaches on really good stories. With basketball, you're really into this. The stories of 3 guys as a pickoff attempt at first. That was very close, not in time. So I would love to see what they would be able to do with not just the JUCO and baseball, but really an NAIA school anyway, because I think the country doesn't really know the story of these small college baseball players as well as they think they do. 1-2, breaking ball, very inside, almost broke into the zone though, and actually did. Wow. So that was the quietest strike 3 call I've ever seen in my life. And for Ambrose, there's a backwards K as we go back to the top of the lineup.
And you're talking about maybe doing a baseball for a JUCO. I mean, California in itself has their own JUCO organization out
right,
there.
And that's what this basketball season's been about. The whole point of this basketball season on Last Chance U is who can win the state championship, which I found to be very interesting because California is big enough to where that would actually have some merit to it. First pitch to Helton is a breaking ball on the inside corner. Just missed it, actually. That looked exactly like the last pitch for ball 1. Helton singled to lead off the game against J.J. Downs, who pitched 2 scoreless innings and gave up 1 hit. Noah Helton, the right fielder, has Albers on at first. Another pickoff attempt almost skips away. Taylor Moe goes down to a knee to grab it. And once again, the shade envelops the field here at Bowen Field, home of the Bluefield Ridge Runners, as well as the Bluefield College Rams baseball team. And we've also seen the Bluefield State Big Blues have a couple of games here this season. Swinging a rip down the left field line and well foul for strike 1. He was well early on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
What's the Big Blues mascot?
So, I think in years past, I don't know if it was like a Blue Devil or something, but now it's a Great Dane. They have a literal Great Dane that they're bringing to games. It's a little puppy, and it's actually very timely that you asked that because they just adopted him. And they're going to have football next year, and he's going to be on the sidelines. I believe he's been at a couple of the baseball games. Derek Price, the Bluefield State Athletic Director, the 1-1. Another breaking ball just a bit inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. He was an assistant basketball coach at Bluefield College for a number of years, then went on to be the Bluefield State head coach in basketball. Now he's the athletic director, and they just hired a brand new basketball coach yesterday.
I was interested.
2-1 is a line drive, slapped to left field, a base hit. Garcia fields, and he's going to throw it in, so now there are 2 men aboard with 1 out.
You know, I was interested because we, in Alabama we've got the Crimson Tide,
Right.
but we have an elephant. And I'm thinking, well, is it Western Kentucky? They're the Hilltoppers.
But that it's like a red.
It's Big Red.
It's Big Red. That's right.
Have you seen him? Have you seen?
I have seen. He's like a big. He kind of looks like Pac-Man.
Red Grimace.
Yes.
From McDonald's, the old McDonald's.
From McDonald's. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, but I think the Great Dane right now is a cute dog. I think it's a cool thing that they're trying to do. Lefty righty. Here's Eduardo Bello, 0 for 1. Fastball skips in the dirt. Cardona gets up, no throw. 2 men aboard, 1 out. We are in the top of the 3rd inning. Lone out has been Kirkman, who went down on strikes ever so quietly, I might add. Ball in, no strikes. Righty at the plate with the Black Sox. Sun peering out on the right end with a little bit of a breeze. Here's the 1-0. Swinging a ground ball straight at short. Zapsos on to second for 1. Back to first in time. 6-4-3 double play, and just what the doctor ordered for Bluefield College. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on. We're going to go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's still scoreless between Bluefield and UPIKE. That's a big bat in the lineup that is out for Bluefield College. Clay Wisner is a big part of the reason that the Rams have had success in these home conference series at Bowen Field. 2-1. Big cut and a miss for Mejia. Evens up the count at 2-2. Lots of pop off the bat of Wisner. Some senior leadership there as well. It's been pretty invaluable between him and Nate Cobb joining the team from Malone University. Here's the 2-2. Check swing, foul ball. Mejia hits himself with it. And now the count runs at 2-2. Well, Mejia looked like he didn't want to commit to that swing after he started it. Just got a piece of it. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, nobody on. Zapso's taking a couple of cuts on deck. A little bit of wind flowing out towards center. It's the 2-2. Sends it in the air to right center field. Calling for it, Helton. Steps up as the ball curves into further right. And the catch is made for out number 1. So there's 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd in this scoreless contest. And Zapsos will try to change that. Got to give it to Mike White, Rocky Malamasura, and everybody that's really responsible to keep this field uptight. They have done a heck of a job here at Bowen Field. It looks beautiful. A little warm today, and when we were getting ready for the field, they had to spray the dirt a couple of times. Zapso's first pitch, swinging a ground ball, shot to second, straight at Maynard. Arms it to first in time, and there's the second out of the bottom of the 3rd. That'll send us right back to the top of the lineup. I tell you what, Jackson, I would love, obviously, not only for me as a guy who doesn't handle the sun particularly well, I would have loved for it to be a little bit colder for our equipment today. Because it can't handle this almost summer temperature here for some reason.
The part of the computer that wasn't shaded by the top, like it burnt my hand a couple times.
Yeah, you could have cooked a burger on it. First pitch to Garcia, hits on the outside corner, righty-lefty matchup. Garcia's 0 for 1 as Cernahouse has made his way through this lineup. Comes the 0-1. Leadoff man. He slices it foul. Count runs now. No balls, 2 strikes. I know certainly the fans can't really complain for the fact that it's pretty nice outside. I mean, last week, I believe it was Thursday, a little bit of snow coming down. Here's the 0-2. Sails outside and low. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Going into the weekend, we definitely had we had rain, we had snow.
Well, I think it was April Fool's Day, and it was just like, JK on the spring temperatures. Here's some snow. Because remember, you live in Bluefield, so can't be that perfect. 1-2 is a bouncer over to short. Kirkman fields confidently, throws to first, and ends the bottom of the 3rd inning. Rams go in order for the 2nd time in this ball game, and we'll go to the 4th inning, still scoreless, 0-0. On to the fourth inning here at Bowen Field. Still scoreless between the Bears and the Rams. Tyler Frias, the center fielder, in the 3-4-5 due up for the Bears. Spencer Ambrose, the lefty, ready to deal. He kicks and delivers. That's slapped on the ground through the 5-6 hole. Diving play made by Zapsos. Actually rolled through him. Looked like he was up to throw, but it actually got through the glove. So, the second straight inning, the leadoff man is on for the Bears, and Frias is now 1 for 2. Tyler Maynard, the second baseman, now up for the Bears. 7-22 themselves, coming off of a 4-game losing streak. UPIKE in the Mid-South Conference. And despite being in different conferences, this is a pretty close trip for UPIKE, and the same for, obviously, when Bluefield goes there, to usually plays them in football every season. We also see a basketball game between the two schools. UPIKE with a pretty great arena to play in. Lefty deals. Big swing and a miss on a well-dealt fastball by Ambrose. The count runs 0-1. No outs. DeMarco Miller due up next. Runner at first. Count it 0-1. Ambrose looking at him. Pickoff attempt. Kind of a stutter move there. Frias thought he was going to second and dove back in. So Bluefield College is going to have Reinhardt this weekend. I believe softball will have Reinhardt as well. That'll be on Saturday. And luckily enough, we're going to have both of those games broadcasted live. Won't have to sacrifice a sport. Time called. Ambrose really being deliberate with a runner over at first base. Remember, folks, top of the fourth. No outs. No balls, 1 strike. Lefty-righty matchup with Maynard in an 0-1 count. It's only seen 1 pitch so far. Runner takes off. Breaking ball down the middle. Cardona throws that one on a hopper wide to the right. And it will be a stolen bag.
You know, Maynard's from Louisa, Kentucky, and apparently it's one of the best fishing sites in all of eastern Kentucky.
Wow. Now, how'd you find that out? No balls, 2 strikes, by the way.
The Kentucky Tourism website.
What are they going to tell you? They're like, well, we have a lake here.
Well, since 1823, they've got some. I just had it up.
Okay, I'm waiting on the edge of my seat here. Honestly, I really am.
Bass, bluegill, and I don't want to mispronounce that last one. So.
The 0-2 sails outside off the glove of Cardona, jogs to the backstop, and Frias sprints over to third on a pass ball. Now the count runs to 1-2.
I remember when I was doing my research for it and I saw Louisa, I'm like, that's a very interesting named city.
Well, there's a Louisa in Kentucky, I'm just now learning, and there's one in Virginia.
Where's it in Virginia?
It's on the way to Richmond. Do you remember when there was that earthquake and they said that, okay, you're shaking your head no, but there was an earthquake back in, I believe, 2011. 1-2. Breaking ball, did that hit him? Skipped in the dirt behind him, and Maynard is in a 2-2 count now with no outs and a runner at third. There was an earthquake, and the epicenter was in Louisa County. It was specifically in Mineral, Virginia. And a lot of people made the joke that the earthquake didn't do anything to the East Coast. Well, it did in Louisa. 2-2. High fly ball cranked to center field. Cobb on a sprint. He will not catch up to this one. Bounces onto the wall. Sprinting into second. Maynard on his way to third. Throw from Zapsos. Tag. Not in time, and he slides in with an RBI triple. It's 1-0 UPIKE. Well, he hit that one right to the power alley in center field. Nate Cobb was on a well-out sprint to get to it. It bounced about 5 feet away from him. And now it's an RBI triple, and the score runs 1-0 with no outs here in the top of the fourth inning. So, in Louisa, Virginia, they actually had to close down the high school that year because of the earthquake. But as DeMarco Miller shows bunt, fails to pull back strike one. I think they got a free Alan Jackson concert out of it, and I know that's not a well enough trade-off for a high school.
What year was that?
I think it was he's been
in the 2000s.
2011.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't the good Alan Jackson.
No, well.
No, I'm just kidding. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
This is right. No balls, 1 strike, no outs. I don't think that's a proper trade-off either way for your high school getting popped up. Center field, could this be enough to tag Maynard? Cobb under it, makes the catch. Maynard tagging up, throw home, wide to the right, skipping on 1 hop, and it's a sacrifice fly for DeMarco Miller. There's 1 out, but now it's 2-0.
Yeah, we had a couple high schools, or I think it was only one high school in Alabama that got hit by a tornado this year, and Fultondale High School.
Wow.
But they were already prepared because they were already splitting up for online classes, so they ended up just going all online.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think bringing that back to what's happened at Bluefield College, a lot of this has been online. Breaking ball down the middle, strike 1. And I know that's got to be tough for kids that want to get the in-person college experience. And it makes it very tough a lot of times for these student athletes as well. Here's the 0-1. Hit him in the batting helmet. Scott's going to get to first. Spencer Ambrose, a bit of a tough inning here. Two nothing the score, 1 out. Inning started off with a Freya single, a triple from Maynard to deep center. Now Scott is on at first after being plunked. Here's McLemore. Bounce it back to the screen. First baseman 0 for 1. Flew out to left field. Ambrose checking on first. High kick, and the pitch shows bunt. Pops it foul. Ricochets down right next to us, so no balls, 2 strikes. Ball almost hit to where the new press box is going to be. Got to check that out before the ball game. Going to have a roof, which will be very nice because right now we don't have one where we're set up right here. Ambrose checking on it first. Deals 0-2. So we're going to ground ball straight at short. Could be 2. Zapsos on to second. Mejia turns to first. Skips wide to the right. And McLemore is safe. Meanwhile, throws it back to first. In time. So the tag by Mo. Great job by Cardona getting over there and threw it right over to first. So that is how the top of the 4th inning ends. So it's 2-0 UPIKE as we move on to the bottom of the 4th inning. Nine games in at this point in the season is pretty impressive. And the Rams played the same amount, 13 wins, 16 losses.
It's more matches than I got this year.
Yeah. Payoff. Cobb, check swing, laid off it, and there is a walk, first one of the day. Rams with a leadoff man on. Ozzie Millette comes up to the plate. He's 0 for 1. So we finally figured out what this song was.
Is this the same song?
Yes. I think it didn't. It started in midway through the song instead of doing the invoking part at the beginning. So Cernahouse ready to pitch to Ozzie Millette, the third baseman. Scoots out of the way of that one. The righty watches it inside, ball one. Runner at first, no outs. Bottom of the fourth inning, 2-0 UPIKE. It's Agua Nile by Mark Anthony. And I believe that was a movie of some sort he had with his ex-wife, Jennifer Lopez. Pickoff attempt at first, not in time. But when we were bored, or excuse me, I don't want to say bored. We were stuck in the press box for football over that long rain delay. And we were just like, what is that song that Ozzie kept playing yesterday when he came up to bat? Cernahouse fires away. It's outside, 2 balls, no strikes. And Garrett Schilling got right back to us after we texted him, Ozzie Millette's Agua Nile. There's something about it that's a little bit different than any baseball walk-up song, especially for these Bluefield College Rams. It's something electric about it. I don't know how to describe it. Cobb taking off, goes back to first, and dives back in on a better throw. He's out there by Bello. 3 balls, no strikes. Excuse me, 2 balls, 1 strike. I don't know if that would be considered a strike. Well, let's see what we got here. 2-1. Ozzie Millette watches that one outside. So a batter's count of 3 balls, 1 strike. Count at 3-1. The bottom of the fourth inning. 2-0 the score. Cernahouse trying to defend that lead. High chopper, middle of the infield. Steps back, Maynard. Couldn't play it off a hop and rolls into center. Throw to third, not in time, and Nate Cobb is on the corner, as is Millette. So Bluefield with 2 men aboard and no outs. Call that a single. Maynard did not actually hit it. Played it a little too far back on a hop. Should have charged it. And because of that indecision, it rolls into center field, and Millette is on with second base hit of the day for Bluefield College. Here we are in the bottom of the fourth. Tying run is at first base, and Joseph Cardona, who hit a double, has a chance on hitting something here to bring home a run. Looks like the middle of the infield is going to play for the double play, but they are ready to surrender a run at this point. Cardona down the right field line. That is a base hit past the glove of McLemore. Cobb jogs in to score. Millette gallivanting on to third. He is safe. That is the second double of the ball game for Cardona. And now Bluefield is on the board. It's 2-1 UPIKE. That was a hot shot down the first baseline. And McLemore tried to dive down to get it and couldn't get it on the hop. So Taylor Moe, the first baseman, on a fly ball, will be able to tie up the ball game. First pitch to Moe, just a bit outside, and it's ball 1. Sun starting to set behind a big cloud here at Bowen Field, providing some shadow. A little bit of wind flowing out towards left field. Tying run is at third base, and Ozzie Millette. Corner infielders playing in the 1-0. So we got a ground ball up the middle. Cernahouse turns around, throws to first in time. Oh my goodness, it was scorched on the ground, and somehow the pitcher was able to make the scoop. Moe is retired, and everybody stays where they are for the first out of the bottom of the fourth inning.
I think the pitcher just spread himself a little there.
I mean, he threw out the glove in a defensive fashion, and it was right in there. It was right into the webbing. Now Elijah Lewis with a base hit could give Bluefield the lead. Decent enough ground ball. Ties up the ball game. First pitch, Lewis on the ground, left side, and through for a base hit. Millette will score to tie up the ball game. Runner stays at third, and now it's 2-2. So an RBI single for Elijah Lewis. Rams dinking and dunking their way in this inning already. The third hit of the bottom of the fourth, and there's just 1 out. So the go-ahead run is at third base for Bluefield. Here we are in the bottom of the fourth inning. That was the 4th Rams hit of the ball game. Tied up at 2-2. Cernahouse with that scoop has the lone out. Middle of the infield hoping for an inning-ending double play. Sails that one outside and low for ball 1. So the count runs at 1-0. We're in the bottom of the 4th. 2-2 the score. From the belt, runner at 3rd. Pitch, swinging a line drive to left field, base hit. David Meach's base knock will give the lead to Bluefield. Sprinting on to 3rd, Lewis, and he is in there. Meach escapes, goes back to first base, and it's 3-2 Bluefield. So Lewis making it runners on the corners again. 3-2 Bluefield. Eli Mejia flew out to right his last time. Looked like it was bobbled by Miller out in left field on the transition.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, you're giving up 3 hits in a row. Maybe you go and talk to your pitcher, calm down a little. Coach Casey Hamilton.
Well, Coach Hamilton is arguing that Lewis didn't tag the bag at second.
His first year as the coach here.
Well, now he's getting into it, the second base umpire. He's arguing that Lewis did not hit the bag and called him safe. Now, Eli Mejia trying to escalate this lead here. 3-2 Bluefield. Rams have 4 hits in the inning. One of them a double, the rest singles. Runners on the corners, Meach at first, Lewis at 3rd. First pitch to Mejia. Swinging a ground ball, chopped foul, 3rd base side. And out of play, no balls, 1 strike. Well, that seemed like a socially distanced conference between head coach Casey Hamilton and the second base umpire. Didn't get up into his face, just yelled at each other from a good, safe 85 feet away. No balls, 1 strike, Mejia. Comes the 0-1. In the air to right field, scooting towards the line, Helton. He'll make the catch. Lewis tagging from 3rd. He's going to get there easily. 4-2 Bluefield on the sacrifice from Mejia.
We talked about Coach Hamilton, and he comes to UPIKE from Kentucky Wesleyan. And it's interesting because his title there was associate head coach. I've never heard that. I've heard assistant head coach.
So I think it's a more official way of saying associate head coach.
It's like the head assistant.
Is the head assistant? Yeah. So now in charge of a great program at UPIKE, as far as got a lot of sports that are very competitive in Kentucky. Meach taking off, low pitch, throw on to second, tag. He got him. Good throw by Bello, able to get Meach off of the base paths, and Zapsos left with the bat in hand. So we'll go to the 5th inning. Bluefield College has taken the lead. It's 4-2 Rams here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Ryan Albers leading off for UPIKE as the Bears now find themselves down 4-2 in the top of the 5th inning. New man on the mound is Zach Powell after Ambrose pitched 2 innings. Well, just a couple of staggered starts for Bluefield College's pitchers. First pitch to Albers, who singled his last time up, and only time up is low. 1 ball, no strikes, and the 8-9-1 due up for the Bears. Powell with a high kick in the delivery. Spins outside, and it is ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes. Ambrose gave up those 2 runs in the 4th inning. Surrendered 3 hits. Had 1 strikeout. And no walks. Did have a hit batsman, though. 2-0 on the inside corner. Albers tried to dance out of the way of it, but it's called a strike anyway. 2-1. Here we are in the 5th inning. Only 1 game played today between Bluefield and UPIKE. Comes the 2-1. Slapped foul off of the batting facility. I think I might have took off a chunk of siding, actually.
See, I see the little
that
yellow spot.
I think that's where it hit. I'm surprised that's the first time I've seen that happen. 2-2 coming up from Powell. Here it is. Into the air to right field and deep. Meets playing back, settles down in front of the warning track, and makes the catch for out number 1. So tried to go opposite field, came up a bit short, and there's 1 away. With a 4-2 lead, Powell trying to defend that here. Jared Kirkman went down looking on a backdoor breaking ball back in the 3rd inning. The lone strikeout for Spencer Ambrose. 3rd pitcher of the ball game for Bluefield College is now Powell. J.J. Downs got the start and pitched the first 2 innings. Only gave up 1 hit on the first pitch of the game. There's a pitch on the inside corner, strike 1. And Casey Hamilton might be a little upset with a few of these strike calls. UPIKE has certainly crowded the plate. Comes the 0-1. There's a great breaking pitch. What a pitch by Powell. Goes right into the inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out with nobody on. So been already forced to defend the plate here as the shortstop waves his bat behind his black helmet. Powell fires away. Breaking ball, fought off foul, kicks off of the backstop and rolls down the first baseline. And we'll do it again in no balls, 2 strikes with 1 out.
I was going to say, he's either really hugging the plate or the umpires calling him a little inside because he almost got hit by that first ball.
Right. On the second one, a great breaking pitch, found its way in the zone, though. Comes the 0-2. Just a bit high, ball 1. Looks like Ambrose trying to favor a little bit of that breaking pitch. Comes a 1-2. Fouled back. Doing a good job of staying alive here with 2 strikes and nobody on. Well, Bluefield, a big conference series this weekend. Aren't going to want to miss that. Now a doubleheader on Friday. We're going to be here for you on the Rams Digital Sports Network. And hopefully, I can't guarantee anything, but we're going to see if we can get up on top of the awning here. So that one's a bit high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, where the new press box is going to be. Now, the reason we couldn't be there today, a lot of construction going on, so a lot of noise would kind of hamper a good broadcast. I'm sure you can still hear it anyway right here, but they'd be on top of us with the nail guns. 2-2. Fouled back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Well, that press box has been in the works for so many years. Finally able to do so, and we took a picture of it. Well, the view, it's going to be great. Ready for the 2-2. On the ground, up the middle, Zapsos plays it there. Throw on to first in time. Great play made by the shortstop. Confident throw from the middle of the infield and got him by about 2.5 steps. So Kirkman falls to 0 for 2. We go to the top of the lineup with 2 outs for Noah Helton, who's 2 for 2 today. Couple of singles for the right fielder. Freshman from Somerset, Kentucky. First pitch. Watches it fly outside and low. A good amount of Kentucky natives on this roster, as expected, with Well, Kentucky, a state that a little bit more aware of the NAIA presence, as that's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Bluefield College, the only NAIA institution in the Commonwealth of Virginia. That was a 2-0. Just a bit outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Well, Bluefield College getting a few guys from Virginia, but mostly from, just about everywhere. Trying to target who you see at these showcases from junior colleges. Had a good amount of guys from California over the years. 3-0. Outside, ball 4. And Powell deals a 2-out walk here at the top of the 5th inning.
Are there any NAIs in Maryland?
You put me on the spot here. I know that Bluefield College doesn't play one. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I can't name one.
It's a very, Midwestern, and then you got Kentucky, Virginia,
right,
Tennessee, all in that little area.
Yeah.
It's primarily with the NAIA.
Get them out of Georgia as well.
Georgia got a lot of really good.
Inside, bounces away from Cardona. He just jogs and watches Helton sprint over to second base. Off of the thud, it sounded like it hit Bello's foot. Garrett Schilling's going to call time and want to talk this one over with Powell, who retired those first 2 batters rather easily. Well, Bello is 0 for 2, hit into a double play back in the 3rd inning. So 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. 4-2. Swing of the bat could tie the game. Both teams with 5 hits so far as we're in the top of the 5th frame. Bello hitting .271 coming into this game. No home runs. 9 RBIs. Good enough base hit can make it an even 10. Here comes the 1-0. A good pitch. Just missed a little bit inside on the lefty. 2 balls, no strikes. Helton on with a 4-pitch walk. He has reached in every at-bat today. Guess I should say plate appearance. Powell in his first inning of work checks on Helton. Another look. Pickoff attempt. Tag. Not in time. A little bit more of a throw near the batter there, possibly retiring him off the base paths. Andy Zapsos encouraging him. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs.
There's a lot of energy in the baseball dugouts. You don't hear a lot of chants like you do in softball.
No, and I am, you know what? I am okay with that. That was a 2-0. Hit him. Nicks him on the arm, and now there are 2 aboard. So, this is an unfortunate pattern we have seen Bluefield College get into at times as now a new runner comes on. Tyler Frias, the center fielder, who's 1 for 1 with a run scored today. Or excuse me, 1 for 2. Rams retire the first 2 batters of the inning, and now all of a sudden the tying run is at first base. Frias, center fielder, watches a fastball high and away for ball 1. Still in the top of the 5th, 2 outs. Rams just need that final out to go in the home half of the 5th inning. Pitch popped up right behind home plate. And that's going to travel into where the new press box is going to be. So, count runs 1-1 to Frias. Big at-bat here. Certainly a big one for Powell on the bump for Bluefield College in that blue jersey, trying to get out of it. Rams scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, answering those 2 runs that scored in the top of the 4th for Pikeville. Another check at second. Here comes a 1-1. Popped up again, foul. That'll get out of play over the dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Few fans matriculating into the orange seats here at Bowen. Two men aboard. Righty looks around. Trying to deal to the righty at the plate. Powell deals. Breaking ball just a bit high and outside. Well, Cardona did a decent job of trying to frame that one up, but now the count runs 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 4-2 the score. 2 men aboard. Comes a 2-2. High fly pop-up. Right side and out of play. Looks like he's just a bit off. Almost on time with it. Count's going to go 2-2. Faria stepping back in. Heltnet's second runner representing Bello is over at first after being hit by a pitch, and Powell steps off. Looks like the prescribed amount of innings for these bullpen pitchers today for Bluefield College is 2. See if Powell can get out of the first one here. Comes a 2-2. So we got a ground ball left side on a backhanded chop. Zapsos throws it to third in time, and that will retire the side on a 6-5 putout. So no runs once again for UPIKE on no hits, no errors. 2 men left on. We're going to the bottom of the 5th as we're halfway done with this one in Bluefield. It's 4-2 Rams. Bottom of the 5th here in Bluefield. Ryan Ratliff deals a first pitch breaking ball. The righty freshman from Catlettsburg, Kentucky, deals inside on Zapsos. And it's ball 1. Zapsos 0 for 1, left with a bat in his hand in the 4th inning. Comes a 1-0. Watches that one inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Ratliff, the 9.69 ERA, 2-0. Pitched 13 innings so far this year. That skips in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. Make it 3 balls, no strikes. 9-1-2 due up for Bluefield. Rams put 4 on the board in the 4th inning after finding themselves down 2-0. Here we are in the bottom of the 5th. Just 1 game between Bluefield and UPIKE. Ratliff, slow delivery. Here's the pitch. Right down the pipe. And strike one, 3-1. So didn't have the green light on the 3-0. Cernahouse's day is done after 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. Here comes a 3-1. And it's inside for ball 4. So a walk on the first batter of the day for Ratliff. Back to the top of the lineup in Garcia. And it looks like now it's going to be Andreas Holzer instead after Garcia goes 0 for 2. So wearing number 33 with that black sleeve on the right arm. As Zapso's at first with no outs. Pitch. Fastball skips in the dirt, ball 1. Now Casey Hamilton, we're going to go and talk this one over. Someone on the pitching staff for UPIKE going to try to talk this one over, have a couple of arms warming up in the bullpen. Ratliff already with 6 pitches and has thrown 5 balls. Runner at first, so we got baseball on Friday, softball on Saturday. 1 ball, no strikes. Pretty tame now as far as that workload we had about a month ago where we had 5 sports going on at the same time. 5. Both men's and women's volleyball. Unfortunately, men's volleyball, their season is now over after a COVID outbreak. Will not participate in the Mid-South tournament. Women's volleyball eliminated from the AAC tournament. That's inside. 2 balls, no strikes. So now, all right now, as far as sports we can actually broadcast, baseball as well as softball. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs. From the belt, the offer just a bit inside. 3 balls, no strikes. So Ratliff really struggling to find the zone consistently here. And Holzer has yet to really get a good look at any of these pitches. 3 balls, no strikes. So the sun starts to poke back out through the Carolina blue skies. Zapsos at first off the walk, 3-0. It's on the outside corner. The field, staying in the ballpark. Miller on a sprint, loses his hat. Backing up is Kirkman, and the shortstop makes the catch for out number 2. So the Rams have popped up twice. That one was almost dangerous into no man's land, but Kirkman doing a heck of a job covering a good amount of ground. Now there are 2 away with Zapsos at second. Didn't we Google what Aguanile was, and it was a Yoruba word from Nigeria?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or, I think it kind of got here from, like, Haiti or something.
Right. It was something with the Caribbean, some sort of Caribbean influence. First pitch to Ozzie Millett is outside for ball 1.
Glad you have a better memory than I do, because I was trying to think about it this whole time.
I thought it stood with me, because I was like, all right, should be Spanish, right? And it wasn't. 1-0. Popped up right side, and that will go out of play. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 4-2 Rams lead, bottom of the 5th inning. Ratliff taking a long look inside. Checks on Zapsos at second. 1-1. Skips in the dirt. 2-1 to Millett. Millett singled his last time up, came around to score. Eventually in that 4-run bottom of the 4th inning for Bluefield. Checking on second, comes the 2-1. That's outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Well, taking about 20 seconds in between pitches. Ratliff really being a bit deliberate, the freshman. 3 balls, 1 strike. Ozzie Millett awaits. Coming set. Ball in the glove at the belt. Here comes a 3-1. Fouled it off, and now the count is full. So Ratliff, he's able to get out of this inning after already having a mound visit, walked Zapsos on 4. Actually make it 5 pitches.
And yes, we did get the time by timing it.
Well, it's just a bit interesting to see how pitchers maneuver their way through these lineups. Payoff. Swing and a miss. He got him. So Ratliff pitches a scoreless frame for UPIKE, and that is it for the 5th inning. We're on to the 6th. It's 4-2 Bluefield. So Powell only pitches 1 inning for Bluefield. It was scoreless, no runs, and did not have a strikeout, did not give up a hit, had a walk and a hit batsman. But now Aaron Hash, the lefty, is going to make his way through the 4, 5, 6 of the lineup against Tyler Maynard, who belted a triple in the 4th inning off of Ambrose and came around to score. So it'll be Maynard, Miller, and Scott all due up for the UPIKE Bears from Kentucky. These Bluefield College Rams lead 4-2 here in the top of the 6th inning. Gorgeous day for baseball. Finally feeling a bit like summer. It kind of seems like we don't really have a spring as much anymore. Now, it's not that hot, but it feels like it goes straight from 40 degrees to about 80. That fastball is high for ball 1. And if you would have asked our computer today, it would have said it was 900 degrees out. 1-0. High and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. I think if we put a piece of beef on our last laptop as Hash moves this one pretty quickly, 2-0. Fouled back to the screen, 2-1. If we put a piece of beef on our last laptop and then close the screen, and then we just let it there for a little bit and open it up, I think we would have at least a medium rare steak on how hot that last laptop was.
I definitely have to agree with that. It was burning
too
me to
hot.
the touch.
Comes the 2-1 from Hash. Swinging a ground ball straight at third, past the dive of Millette through the 5-6 hole, and that is a base knock. So Maynard with a triple and a single today, leading off things well for the Bears here in the top of the 6th inning. It's 4-2. Here comes a potential tying run in DeMarco Miller, who's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly out to center field. So an RBI entailing with that. UPIKE took the lead there in the 4th inning, scored 2 runs. And the Rams answered with a 4-run bottom of the 4th inning. Staff day for Bluefield. Hash deals. Big swing and a miss on a fastball from the lefty, and it's strike 1. I can expect that in these midweek games. Rams trying to get the bullpen some reps. Even in the infield with Wisner's injury, get Ellie Mejia some reps. Comes the 0-1. High and outside, almost a pitch out. Cardona's just going to give it right back to the pitcher. evens it up in 1-1.
Yeah, when we talked to Coach White about Clay Wisner today, he talked about he was going to try to get as many people as he can rotated in.
And he said, let's not test him in a non-conference game. Here comes a 1-1. That is skied foul right side now to play. Makes it 1-2. He said, with how our conference is this year, we need him in every single series playing in the AAC because the Rams have had a chance every single series. Now, what stinks is the fact that they did lose 3 games against St. Andrews, but if you look at a sweep, you don't see any crazy scores there. They're all good baseball games. Comes a 1-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Throw to second. Tag! Not in time. Great sliding effort by Maynard because that was a great throw by Cardona. So Miller retired on strikes for the second time today. There's the first strikeout from Hash on the mound, the 4th pitcher of the ball game for Bluefield College. Ring up Trey Scott, who's 0 for 1, hit by a pitch his last time up in the 4th inning. So Hash now has to deal with a runner in scoring position. First pitch to the lefty. Mean breaking pitch, just a little too mean as it dashes up some dirt near the ankles. 1 ball, no strikes to the lefty. Just a single gale of wind starting to cool us off here right behind home plate. Comes the 1-0. Inside and high, 2 balls, no strikes. Now with 1 out, 4-2 ball game. It's going to be a huge test for Bluefield's bullpen moving down the stretch of this one. Hash kicks and fires. Knee-high fastball, strike 2. Actually, 2 balls and 1 strike.
So that happens when you get your score people on top of it.
Yeah. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's the offer. Swinging a line drive, smacked foul into the parking lot. Now, like 95% sure that'll be strike 2. And I was right. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Trey Scott with a swing of the bat could tie the game, but a decent enough base hit shaves off the lead by 1 run with a runner at second. Tyler Maynard, who led it off with a single through the 5-6 gap. Hash checking on Maynard, who has a big lead at second. Comes a 2-2. Breaking ball, almost. Just a little too far inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Runner at second, 4-2. Bluefield leads, top of the 6th inning. Use a little bit of wind. Hasn't heated enough consistently enough yet for the trees behind center field to start getting some foliage on them. Comes a 3-2. Swing and a miss. That would have been ball 4. And instead, it's strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Aaron Hash.
You know, one thing interesting about Pikeville is that, yeah, they are 7-22, but of all of those, they only have 2 times where they got swept. Every other time, they'll lose 2, but they'll win that last one.
Yeah, I wonder if it's, does they get off to a rough start, where their Sunday guy, or their Game 3 guy is usually the most consistent pitcher. 1 ball, no strikes. Trey McLemore, 0 for 2. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second. It's 4-2 Bluefield. Hash trying to strike out the side here, potentially in the top of the 6th inning after giving up the single. Hash looks at second. Picks up the leg and pitches. Popped up foul, and he'll get out of here in a hurry. Evens it up in 1-1. Count at 1-1 with 2 outs. A little bit of wind flowing out towards left could help the right-handed batter. Hash Lefty checks on Maynard at second. Here comes a 1-1. And it's high up near the face. 2 balls, 1 strike. Popped up behind home plate. Cardona trying to find it in the sky. Calls for it and makes the grab for out number 3. So Hash, after giving up a single, retires the side in order. Top of the 6th is over. Bluefield College leads 4-2 onto the home half of the 6th inning when we come back. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up. Here is Ratliff. Check that, a new pitcher in for UPIKE. First pitch to Cardona. He sends a charge in it into center field. Freyes dives, and he can't make the grab. Cardona goes back. Freyes tried to sell that he had it, so 1 pitch already on the day, and Cardona is on with a single. New pitcher in is Ty Krall, freshman from Mount Crab, Ohio. Right-handed pitcher standing in at 6'3", 185 pounds. So Krall, thought that one was potentially caught by Frias. Instead he dove up. It looked like he trapped it. Now Taylor Moe is going to try to move this inning forward with runner representing Cardona over at first. Krall with a 7.71 ERA. 1-1 on the year. Now making his 12th appearance. That pitch is in the dirt. Rolls away from Bello. Not far enough. Pitched 11 2/3 innings, giving up 14 hits, 11 runs, 10 of them earned with 8 walks and 7 strikeouts. Krall deals, big swing and a miss for Moe. Evens up the count at 1-1. It's 4-2 Bluefield, bottom of the 6th inning. Moe's 0 for 2 with a couple of grounders today. Sent one back to Cernahouse on a really hard-hit grounder back in the 4th inning, but the pitcher fielded it very confidently and retired him on a really good 1-3, 1-1. Right down the middle, faded into the strike zone, 1-2. A little bit of wind flowing out towards left. Krall fires away, and it's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So, this does seem like, for Casey Hamilton's squad, bringing in the freshman on a staff day for UPIKE, they don't mind slowing this game down to a glacial pace to try to lull these batters to sleep at home plate. Comes a 2-2. And it's low for ball 3.
Lull people to sleep is definitely right.
Yeah. And you know, there's got to be a strategy to it. Don't want to work too quickly. Runner takes off on the hit and run. It's popped up left side and foul out of play.
A little concerned I didn't hear a thud, so I don't know where it landed.
Yeah, I think it must have hit into the mountains or, you know, the trail right behind home plate. It's not like it hit. When I say the mountains, I'm thinking like it rolls through an entire valley. And
the amount of balls we hit up there.
Yeah, baseball farm. Payoff. In the dirt, ball 4. Well, there are 2 men aboard. It's going to be Elijah Lewis up with 2 men on and no outs. 4-2, Bluefield leads, bottom of the 6th. Lewis, last time here, we talked about, had that big walk-off single. I think that walk-off single against Point really capped off maybe the best comeback I've ever seen on a Bluefield College baseball team. And certainly it was awesome to see Mike White get so excited. First pitch to Lewis. Pops it up. Mountain high. Left side. Kirkman under it. And the shortstop makes the catch for out number 1. I'll bring up David Meach with 1 out.
I will say that I thought Coach White seemed very excited going into this game, even though, you came off of a St. Andrews sweep.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that what has made him excited, made Garrett Schilling excited, what's made Chris Allen excited, this team does have seemingly a good attitude. You can just imagine in years past with any coach where comes the first pitch to Meach, watches it on the outside corner for strike 1. If the team isn't a group of guys you really enjoy being around as people, then it also makes it tough to really cobble together some wins. Well, the Rams 3 games under 500, but staying in it. Certainly something that is going to keep them moving forward through the AAC slot. Meach on the ground into right field, a base hit. Maldonado held up at third, and the bases are loaded. Second single of the ballgame for Meach, who's now 2 for 3 with an RBI. Here's Eli Mejia, 1 out, bases loaded for Mejia. So Crawl in his first real pickle of the ball game. Bases loaded, 1 out, 4-2 the score. Bluefield College leads by 2. Chance to really break it open here in the bottom of the 6th inning with the bases juiced. Crawl fires. And a good pitch in the inside corner. Faded right onto the corner after it looked like it was going to be well inside of Mejia. No balls, 1 strike. Decent take by Mejia. Maldonado at third. Mo at second. And Meach at first with a single. Comes the 0-1. Skips in the dirt. Bello keeps in front to keep the runners at bay. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Middle of the infield in those orange jerseys, hoping for a double play. 1-1. Shot foul right side now to play. The count runs to 1-2. So, corner infielders playing in. Kirkman and Maynard trying to turn a 6-4-3 double play that could back their way out of this inning. Rams have yet to score, but the bases are loaded with 1 out. Mejia, second baseman, standing in. A long look at the signs from Crawl. Right-handed pitcher looks in. Here's the 1-2. So we're going to ground ball chopped at third, throwing it home. Out is there. Bello won't throw to first. And that will keep the bases loaded and also keep the score at 4-2. Maldonado retired on a 5-2. Mo at third, Meach at second, and Mejia is at first. So Zapsos now, the bases loaded and 2 outs. Righty-lefty matchup, a little bit more wind flowing through the back of Zapsos, the shortstop from upstate New York. 4-2, Rams with 7 hits, only 4 runs to show for it at the moment, and a 2-run lead. Crawl gets out of the inning scoreless. That is a big win for UPIKE. Comes the pitch. Big cut and a miss for Zapsos. Looked like he was trying to belt that one down the right field line. The count goes to 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. The 0-1. Fades outside and low, 1-1. Ball and a strike with 2 outs. Crawl hanging over, gets the sign, checks on third, where Mo is standing. That pitch is a fastball that blazes outside, misses by an inch, and Crawl nods. Doesn't know where that one missed by much. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Rams knocking on the door with the bases loaded. Zapsos, the lefty, waving the bat around, waits here. Ball in the beige glove. He checks 2-1. Caught to miss on a breaking ball. That'll even the count at 2-2. Second time where Zapsos took his whole body out of it with that big swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded for Bluefield. Bases were loaded with 1 out here, now with 2 outs. Crawl a strike away from getting out of the jam. 2-2. Swinging a high fly ball to right center field. Helton on his way back, turns around, and it's caught by Frias, who converges with him. And for UPIKE, they can exhale a sigh of relief as the Rams leave the bases loaded, moving on to the 7th inning. It's 4-2 Bluefield here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Colton Bachler now on the mound with the 8-9-1 duo. Albers, Kirkman, and Helton for UPIKE as the Rams hold on to a 4-2 lead. Left the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th. Bachler ready to deal. First pitch, swinging a high fly ball to center field. Nate Cobb on a sprint, settles down in front of the warning track. That one certainly had a lot of power driven into it, but not enough to escape Bowen Field. A loud first pitch and a loud first out. So, top of the 7 begins with an F8 in the books. Jared Kirkman steps up for UPIKE 0 for 2. Had a long battle his last time up. That was against Powell in the 5th inning. Bachler, the now 5th pitcher used by Bluefield today. Shows bunt, pulls back at a fastball that sails high, ball 1. 4-2 the score, 1 out, nobody on for the Bears. 7-22 Bears, Rams 13-16. Appalachian battle, 1-0, shows bunt, pulls back again. Well, that didn't miss by much. 2 balls, no strikes. But inside, I believe. Mockler deals. There's a strike in the outside corner for 2-1. Kirkland trying to scoot his way on the base paths here. First pitch. Skips in the dirt for ball 1 to the righty. Been a certain difference with these Bluefield College pitchers and the UPIKE pitchers with the actual speed of the pitches in between. Took about 20 seconds for Ratliff. That was about 10 there for Bachler. That's high. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs. Officially hit hour number 2 of this ball game. We're in the 7th inning. It was a 2-0. Swing and a miss. Big, healthy cut from Noah Helton. It's strike 1. Now the count runs 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Helton, the right fielder, stepping back in on the right side with the gray pants, Under Armour cleats. Comes the 2-1. We got a chopper foul. Third base side, and now count evens up at 2-2 with 2 outs. Nobody on for UPIKE. Only a 2-run game. Rams had the chance to break it open there, had the bases loaded with 1 out. Failed to score a run. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Comes a 2-2. Breaking ball, popped up, right field, backing up Mejia, and makes the catch in front of Meach. So, a couple of fly balls all snagged by the Bluefield infielders, and Bluefield College will go on to stretch time, leading 4-2 on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Braxton Ratliff now on the mound for UPIKE, and his Bears down 4-2 with Bluefield coming up to the plate. In the bottom of the 7th inning, Bailey Engel, Jackson Bast, glad to have you with us as the Rams start out in the top of the lineup. Andreas Holzer, first pitch. Holzer swings and triggers it right to third base. Albers can't glove it. Throw on to first is high, and that will allow Holzer to be safe at first. So it was so hard, it popped off the glove of Albers, fell onto the dirt, and Bluefield College now has a man at first base. So I think they're going to call that as a hit. But even with how hard that was hit, you could really argue that should have been routine for Albers. So Braxton Ratliff coming into that at-bat with a 4.70 ERA. So Nate Cobb steps up, shows bunt. That one's a bit low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Ratliff with a 4.70 ERA. This is now his 13th appearance. Transfer from Faulkner University. 15 1/3, 13 hits, 13 runs, only 8 of them earned with 20 walks and 7 strikeouts. So dealing obviously with some accuracy issues. Comes the 1-0. Outside and low, 2 balls, no strikes. See if Cobb sticks with trying to put Holzer into scoring position. Joe's bunt, lays it down, first base side and foul. First strike of the at-bat, 2-1. Comes the 2-1. Swinging a ground ball off the end of the bat, third base side and foul. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Only 4-2. Bluefield has only scored in 1 inning today, and that was in the 4th. Nate Cobb, a part of that, started off the inning with a walk. Here comes the 2-2. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. So Cobb on a full count here. Gonna get the swing away sign, obviously. I shouldn't say obviously. There has been more of a thought process to bunt with 2 strikes in the past decade than we have seen previously in the history of baseball. 3-2. Swinging a rip foul, bouncing into the Bluefield College dugout. We'll do it again at 3-2. Cooling down just a little bit. Braxton Ratliff. Fourth pitcher of the day for UPIKE. Another 3-2. Cobb fouls it away. A bit late as it skies on the left side and out of play for the lefty.
Another addition to the baseball farm.
Another addition to the baseball farm. Over there, now I know that that is actually not even a trail. That's the road that gets to the back end of Bowen Field where you can actually walk on top of the awning and see where the press box is going to be. Comes a payoff. Swinging a foul tip off the mid of Bello. If he snags that, Cobb is done. Instead, do it again at 3 balls, 2 strikes. A decent little battle here for Nate Cobb in the bottom of the 7th. Bluefield leading by 2. Trying to search for some more insurance. Comes set. Comes another payoff. Cobb watches it outside, ball 4. So a good eye there. Holzer moves to second. Nazi Millette comes up with 2 men aboard. Looks like we moved to the latter end of the song. Aguanile. 2 men aboard for Ozzie Millette. Here's the pitch. It's inside on a fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. So that's the 21st walk and now 13 appearances for Braxton Ratliff. Ozzie Millette is 1 for 3. That was a 1-0. Once again, drops a bit inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Now let's talk about it. Bello is going to try to find some consistency with his pitcher. Bluefield trying to find its 14th win of the season. This is the 30th game for Bluefield College this year. Say the same for UPIKE. 13-16 the Rams, 7-22 the Bears. Gorgeous day at Bowen Field. 2-men aboard. Here comes the 2-0. That's inside and low as well. So for Ratliff, a ball away from loading up the bases. .3-0. Outside, skips away from Bello. Holzer sprints on to third. Won't flirt with coming home. So, bases are loaded. Now 22 walks on the year. Millette at first, Cobb at second, Holzer at third. With now no outs, Joseph Cardona steps up to the plate. Now Braxton Ratliff going to have a mound visit. We'll see if they bring in a new pitcher. It looks like they will. So for UPIKE, Ratliff's day is done without an out to his name. And now we will take a break here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Bases loaded, no outs. Bottom of the 7th, Bluefield leads 4-2.
At Bluefield College, you will experience a Christ-centered curriculum, community, and campus. Having over 40 academic programs, 18 sports teams, and a plethora of student organizations, the opportunities are endless at BC. With a 14-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, students receive the personal instruction needed to help them succeed. You will know and be known as a member of the Rams fan.
So Brady Schmidt, the graduate student, with the bases loaded now and no outs, comes in after Braxton Ratliff. Joseph Cardona, the cleanup man, watches that one hit the outside corner for strike one. Schmidt, 12.71 ERA, Louisville, Kentucky native. It's 4-2. So remember, this is still a good ball game. 2-run lead for Bluefield College. Cardona trying to break it open with Holzer at third, Cobb at second, and Millette at first. 0-1. Breaking ball just a bit inside on the lefty. The count evens up at 1-1. Cardona has reached every single time today. 2 doubles, RBI, as well as a single in the 6th. Maldonado scored for him back in the 4th inning. Remember, you can have the courtesy runner on for the catcher at this level of baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs. That's inside as well. 2 balls and 1 strike. And he started off with Holzer ramming a ball off of the glove of Albers at third. He could not hold on to it. Then 2 straight walks with Cobb and Millette. 2 balls, 1 strike. Infield in. Anything on the ground, they're going to try to throw it home to keep this at a 2-run game. 2-1. It's high and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. So Schmidt, another ball here. 3 balls, 1 strike. No outs. Pitch. Swinging a hard hit ball through to left field, a base hit. Holzer comes in to score. Here comes Cobb. He'll get there as well, and it's the 3rd double of the game for Joseph Cardona, opening up the score at 6-2 Bluefield. So Holzer comes in, Cobb joining him, 6-2 Bluefield, and that's a situation where the infield, had it not been in, maybe that's a playable ball for Kirkman, but instead, seemed like the right choice to do so anyway, but Bluefield capitalizing on it. So Cardona, represented by Maldonado now at second base. Millette over to third. And now there are 2 men in scoring position with the infield in still. Mo watches it outside. 6-2 Bluefield, a 4-run lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. First runs to score for the Rams since the bottom of the 4th. Mo 0 for 2. Watches that one outside, and it's called a strike. Ball and a strike. Ball and a strike, no outs. 2 men in scoring position, infield in. Swinging a high fly ball out to center field. Should be enough to bring home a runner. Frias under it, makes the catch. Millette will tag, throw to third, skips in late, and it's 7-2 Bluefield. So Mo gets the sacrifice fly. Rams scored 3 runs already here in the home half of the 7th. And there's a runner at third as Maldonado tags to third base. Even the infield in. Elijah Lewis with an RBI back in the 4th inning on a single. He's 1 for 3. Standing in on the right side. Bluefield up by 5 now. It's 7-2. Now with 1 out. Pitch is outside. That's ball 1. One ball, no strikes, 1 out. Lewis, the designated hitter once again with the infield in. And that pitch is behind him. That's nabbed by Bello. 2 balls, no strikes. Still arms warming up in the pen for UPIKE. Maldonado with the lead at third base. That was a 2-0. Swinging a grounder ripped third base side, ricocheting off of the fencing. And that UPIKE bullpen. So 2 balls, 1 strike to number 31 at the plate in that blue jersey. Stands back in on the right side. Bello positions outside. Pitch skips away from Bello. He can't find it. Maldonado's going to score without needing to slide on the wild pitch. It's 8-2 Bluefield. So that's completely different than what we saw out of the Rams in the bottom of the 6th inning where the bases were loaded with 1 out. Bases loaded, no outs in this scenario. In the bottom of the 7th, every run has came home to score. And then some with Cardona's runner and Maldonado making it 8-2. 3 balls, 1 strike. Pitch to Lewis, hit him. It's ball 4 anyway, but Lewis will take the hit by pitch. And David Meach comes up to the plate. Going off the rails here. Maldonado is going to be the first run attributed to Schmidt, who's gotten 1 out so far. Taylor Moe had a sacrifice fly out to center field. A well-struck baseball, might I add. First pitch to Meach. He sends it deep in the air. Left field. It will drop for a base hit and roll all the way to the wall. Under the wall. Going to throw it in. Here comes Lewis around third. He will score. Throw to third. Not in time. So Lewis comes in on the RBI triple from David Meach. And I think there, Jackson, you see a scenario where the center fielder in Frias played it under the wall. I think a lot of outfielders in that scenario we have seen in the past will just throw up their arms and say ground rule double because it's going to be hard for me to fish out under the base of this wall. But he did it. And because of that, Rams played on, so now it's 9-2. 7-run lead for the Rams, and here's Eli Mejia. Big swing and a miss. Strike one. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at third and Meach. That breaking ball goes outside. Just 1 out, by the way. Elijah Lewis came home to score. That's the 5th run of the 7th inning for Bluefield. So these 9 runs all being done with 2 innings of work in the 4th and now the 7th. Here comes the 1-1. Scoots in the dirt outside. Bello picks it up. Going to give it right back to Schmidt. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Pitch outside in the dirt, and Bello's getting some work. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. A little bit of wind flowing out towards left field. Mejia with a fly ball makes this an 8-run ball game. It was a 3-1. In the dirt, ball 4, rolls behind Bello. Here comes Meach, 10-2 Bluefield. Second wild pitch of the inning. Mejia's on with a walk. And this has really gotten away from UPIKE here. What was pretty closely contested ball game. Cernahouse pitched those first 4 innings, gave up 4 runs in that 4th inning. Casey Hamilton let him finish it. And then after that, guys in between, both Ratliffs. First Ratliff did an all right job, kept it scoreless. Crawl also. That pitch rolls inside, but it's called a balk. So it won't even be counted as a pitch. Mejia moves into scoring position. I believe a home run could end the game for Zapsos here. 10 hits now for Bluefield.
What an inning it has been for
Yeah,
the Rams.
You got to give it to Ratliff in the beginning on a ball that was hit right to third. Albers couldn't catch it. First pitch, fouled off. Zapsos had it off the end of the bat. No balls, 1 strike. Then after that single by Holzer, that could have been reeled in at third. So walk for Cobb, walk for Millette, a double for Cardona. He brought in 2. Sacrifice fly for Mo. That's the lone out. Lewis was hit by a pitch that would have been ball 4 anyway, and then an RBI triple for David Meach. Swinging a line drive to left field. That's a base hit. Moving around third, Mejia up to throw Miller. His throw cut off, and now it's 11-2 Bluefield. So an RBI single for Zapsos, his first of the ball game on a single. And with 1 out, we move back to the top of the lineup with Andreas Holzer, and there's just been 1 out. So it looks like they're going to go into the bullpen again. Schmidt's day is done. Gets 3rd of an inning to his name, and that will be it for him. So now it's 11-2 Bluefield, a 9-run lead for the Rams. We'll come back with a new pitcher in.
At Bluefield College, you will experience a Christ-centered curriculum, community, and campus. Having over 40 academic programs, 18 sports teams, and a plethora of student organizations, the opportunities are endless at BC. With a 14-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, students receive the personal instruction needed to help them succeed. You will know and be known as a member of the Rams fan.
DeLong now on the mound for UPIKE with a runner at first, and Zapsos. It's 11-2, one out in the bottom of the 7th. Bluefield is now batted around as Holzer looks at that one high and outside for ball one. Freshman from Kentucky. 1 ball, no strikes. Rams have put up 7 here in the bottom of the 7th with just 1 out. It was a productive out at that on a sacrifice fly to center field. All that's being done. 1-0 is outside. 2 balls, no strikes without errors. Now, Holzer started off the inning on a well-struck baseball over to third that went off of the glove of Albers. It was scored as a hit. It could have really gone either way. Here comes the 2-0. Skips in the dirt, ball 3. Three balls, no strikes, 1 out. Rams with the 10th run, with the 10-run lead, could end it here in the 7th. Comes a 3-0. It's high. Call ball 4. That was pretty close, actually. So, Holzer now goes on with the walk. Here comes Nate Cobb. Nate Cobb already walked in this inning. Batting for the 2nd time. Well, this is midweek baseball. Zapsos on at second base. UPIKE hoping for a double play. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball out to left field. Backing up Miller. Under it, makes the catch. Zapsos is going to stay at second base. So there is the 2nd out on the 11th batter of the inning. Here's Ozzie Millette now with a 9-run lead for Bluefield.
DeLong's a transfer from Eastern Kentucky.
Wow. So, Division I. Western Kentucky's the Hilltoppers, but Eastern Kentucky is... That's a trivia question for you folks at home. That one skips in the dirt because I obviously know the answer. Okay? It's the Colonels. They are the Colonels. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-man aboard for Ozzie Millette. He walked earlier in this inning. That pitch, wow, well outside. Good catch by Bello, able to extend. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. 2-men aboard. Zapsos with an RBI single. He is at second. Wind flowing out towards left field. DeLong deals, and it's high on a breaking ball. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Sunset in Bluefield. That was a 3-0. Had the green light on a 3-0 and flies it foul. Right side now to play. So thought it was a good pitch. So now 3-1. Why not? 2 men aboard. That is on the outside corner. So now a full count. 3rd pitcher of the inning. DeLong trying to end it. So the Rams, base hit could potentially put this one in the books. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Comes a payoff. Swinging a liner out to right field. There's a base hit. Zapsos around third. He will score as that one rolls all the way to the warning track. Held up at third, and now for Millette. He's on to second. And that is the ball game. On a walk-off of sorts, Bluefield College wins in a mercy ruling 12-2. Stick around. We're going to have Mike White in just a moment here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. But the Rams improve to 14-16 on the year. UPIKE falls to 7-23. Ambrose gets the win. Surinhouse will get the loss. And Bluefield College, more importantly, gets a midweek win moving up against Reinhardt. We'll take a break here on the Rams Digital Sports Network and be right back with Mike White after this short message.
At Bluefield College, you will experience a Christ-centered curriculum, community, and campus.
Doubleheader on Friday and then a single game on Saturday. All of that for you here if you can't make it on the Rams Digital Sports Network. So a final score in this one. Bluefield College wins it 12-2 over UPIKE and gets its 14th win of the year for Jackson Bass and for Mike White. My name is Bailey Engel saying so long from Bowen Field.